We feel very fortunate to have had the experience of interviewing all the amazing people who are featured in this book. We have learned so much and been so inspired by their examples. As we interviewed people, we had many questions we continued to ask ourselves, and we were consumed with curiosity as to what makes a successful person tick. As we let others know we were writing this book, they had questions as well. Here are some of the questions that have been rattling around in our minds throughout this entire process. Are people born with Mo, or do they just develop it along the way? That is a fascinating age-old question. Is it nature or nurture? We believe that there are people who certainly are born with some personal characteristics that make them more likely to have motivation, momentum, and moxie. However, we also noted in many of our interviews that even if you were born with those qualities, life, who seems to be a stand-up comedian, often has a funny way of testing your level of Mo. Many of our subjects were faced with tremendous amounts of soul-crushing adversity, but despite that adversity, yes, you guessed it, they remained motivated. Are people who have Mo in any particular demographic group? The answer is, without a doubt, no. No, no, no. No. Okay, enough no's. The people we interviewed who have these special qualities are not restricted to a particular label of gender, race, creed, color, ethnicity, or religion. In fact, it almost seems to be the opposite. People with these special qualities seem to transcend the label that the world at large wishes to apply to them. It's almost as if it does not matter to them. They refuse to be labeled and do not allow any label to hold them back. We saw people with Mo who were only 16 years old, and people with Mo who were super senior citizens. Age seemed not to matter to them. In most cases, they chose to ignore it. Age is only a number. This is where the mental aspect comes into play. Do people who have Mo know that they have it? That is also an interesting question. We found that many of the people we interviewed possessed a humble attitude and were very interested in serving others. They were confident but not arrogant, not bashful but also not boastful. If you asked each one of them if they were motivated, our guess is they would probably reply, "I'm not sure if I'm motivated, but I am an optimistic person." What we do know is that the other people who meet those with Mo can automatically tell they have it. They have a spark, energy, enthusiasm, and passion for life and for people. And as we described in many cases, they are like magnets that draw other people to them. It's kind of like the definition of great art. It's hard to describe, but you know it when you see it. The special people contained within the pages of this book are people magnets. They inspire and motivate others. Can someone learn to develop his or her level of Mo? Of course. If we did not believe that people could develop this skill set, then there would be no point in writing this book. The entire point of this book is to acknowledge that people do have the power and the ability to change their mindset and change their life. We encourage you to go back to each chapter and reread the Mo notes and memos at the end to figure out how you can apply them to your life. We believe that what you have, what you do, and how you feel about it is entirely up to you. You are the architect of your own life, so build it. Humans are the only species that we know of who have the ability to change their lives through the act of conscious thought. We have never seen a turtle sitting on a log with a planner in his hand. Everyone that we interviewed reinforced these exact concepts over and over.